So in number 1, we have 2 bags of marbles. In the first bag, I have 3 blue, 2 yellow, 4 red. In the second, I have 5 blue, 1 yellow, 3 red. It wants me to pull yellow marbles from each bag. So if I look at my first bag, I have 2 yellows, and then I add my totals together. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 4 is 9. So I have 2 out of 9 on my first bag. And then in my second bag, I have 1 yellow, 1 yellow. And then 5 plus 1 is 6, 6 plus 3 is 9. So what I want to do here is I'm going to take my 2 fractions and I'm going to multiply them together. So I have 2 times 1. Remember when I multiply fractions, I multiply straight across. And then 9 times 9 is 81. Same thing for number 2. I am looking for the blue marbles though. So I have 3 blue. 3 plus 2 is 5, plus 4 is 9. And in the second bag, I have 5 blue, plus 1, which is 6, plus 3, which is 9. So I have 3 times 5, which is 15 over 81. Both of these can be simplified by 3. I'm going to divide them both by 3. I get 5 over 27 as my final answer. Same thing in number 3. It says 4 out of 11 are blue in the paper bag and 3 out of 11 in the other bag are blue. Wants me to figure out the probability both are blue, so I'm going to do 4 over 11 times 3 over 11. 4 times 3 is 12. 11 times 11 is 121. I cannot simplify that, so that is my answer. Same thing for number 4. I have 7 over 14 times 3 over 14. What I'm going to do before I even multiply 7 over 14, I know is 1/2. So I have 1/2 times 3 over 14. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 14 is 28. Same thing's going on, except this time I've got ribbons in number 5. So 4 out of 9 times 3 out of 9. 4 times 3 is 12. 9 times 9 is 81. Both of these divide by 3. So I get 4 over 27. Same thing, number 6. I have 2 over 7, 3 over 7. 2 times 3 is 6. 7 times 7 is 49. Number 7, this lady is giving candy bars to her coworkers. She has 15 milk and 12 dark chocolate. She wants to hand the first one is a milk, so she has 15 out of 15 plus 12 is 27. Then she gives one away, but the next one she wants to hand out is dark chocolate. So she hasn't given away any of her dark chocolates, but she has given away one of the total. So it's going to be 12 over 26. I am going to actually use the calculator for this one. So let's go to the screen. I have 15 divided by 27 times 12 divided by 26. And then I hit enter. It gives me a decimal, but to turn it back into a fraction, I want to press math. And the first choice is fraction. I hit enter twice, and it will turn it into a fraction. I cannot read. 10 over 39 is my answer. I'm going to do the same thing on number 8. So she hands out one of the milk chocolates first. So she has 14 out of those. 14 plus 16 is 30. And then the next one she hands out is a dark chocolate, but she only has 29 of those because she's handed out one of her candies. I'm going to go to my calculator and multiply those. So I have 14 divided by 30 times 16 divided by 29. Gives me a decimal. I go math, fraction. The screen's really dark too. I get 112 over 435. Like that. Number 9 is talking about people on a game show. They're spinning a wheel to win, and there's 5 possible amounts to win. It wants me to figure out how many possible outcomes are. Each time they spin the wheel, there's 5 choices. So I have 5 times 5, which just gives me 25. And it wants me to figure out how many outcomes will result in winning 100. So if I think about it, on my first spin, I can get 1 out of 5. And then no matter what I get for the second one, it will give me the 100 I got the first time. So I have that. Or I can spin. So I have my prize amounts. I have 0, 10, 25, 50, 100. So those are each my 5 choices, and then each of those has 5 choices. So one of those would be 100. One of these would be 100. One of these would be 100. One of these would be 100. And all 5 of those are 100. So I have 4 plus the 9. 4 plus the 5, which is the 9. Same thing over here, except this time there's 6 outcomes. So I do 6 times 6, which equals 36. I have 6 plus 5. Because you always do the amount you could do and then plus 1. Minus 1. 6 plus 5 is all. This one's playing a card game. It wants you to figure out when you roll the dice twice, what's the best value to get. Like, what number do you roll on the most? What you do for this is you always take the number that the dice is, plus 1, which is 9. So 9 gives her the best chance. Number 12, do the same thing, 7 plus 1, 8. 8 gives her the best chance. Okay. This one wants me to figure out if they're independent or dependent. If I take A and I take B and I multiply them together and they give me the end number, they are independent. If they don't give me it when I multiply, they are dependent. So I'm going to do 12 divided by 17 times 8 divided by 17, which gives me, if I turn this back into a fraction, 96 over 289. That is not this number, so this one is dependent. I'm going to go do the same thing for number 14. 13 over 17 times 5 over 17. Is 65 over 289, again, not the number that it gives me, so this one is dependent. Okay. Number 15 is same thing. I'm going to take my decimals and multiply them together, so this time I have 264 times 0.891. Gives me 0.235, which is the number I wanted. These ones are independent. Same thing over here. I have 0.234 times 0.671. Gives me 0.157. These ones are also independent. Same thing with percents. I'm just going to turn them into decimals. So 0.67 times 0.33 gives me 0.22, and then I don't care about the rest of it. So this one is independent. Same thing for number 18. I'm going to do 0.33 times 0.33. Gives me 0.1089. If I round it, it turns into 0.11, so this one is also independent. Okay, this next one talks about someone picking out socks. They have 5 plus 2 plus 7 plus 14 socks. She picks out 3 socks without putting them back. She wants to figure out the probability that she first gets 5 black. So she has all 14 socks when she pulls out her black. Then she wants to pull out some red. So she hasn't pulled out any of her red socks. But now she has 13 socks. And then she wants to pull out a yellow, which is 7 out of 12. The number on the bottom keeps going down because I'm not replacing it. So I'm going to go multiply this on my calculator. I have 5 divided by 14 times 2 divided by 13 times 7 divided by 12. gives me a decimal. I go math, hit enter twice, turns it into a fraction, which gives me 5 over 156. Same thing for number 20. She has the same socks. So this time she's picking black, so she has 5 out of 14. Then she picks red, she's 2 out of 13. Then she goes back and picks another black, so this time she only has 4 black socks because she's taking one away. And then she has 12 socks left. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply those fractions. I have 5 over 14 times 2 over 13 times 4 over 12. Gives me a decimal. I go math fraction. Gives me 5 over 272.